Why is Letizia Zarzuela still the choice, even though Felipe preferred men? Zarzuela Palace, the ancient walls may not speak, but the servants do. And the whispers are getting louder. For years, the image of the Spanish royal couple, King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia, has been a symbol of stability amid royal storms. But recently, a seemingly impossible question has been circulating through the palace corridors. If Felipe really has no interest in women, why is Letizia still the only choice, and even the choice that is kept at all costs? Whispers in the dark. From royal dinners to behind-the-scenes trips, insiders have been whispering about an understood truth. Felipe, a tall, handsome man who is always elegant in every gesture, seems to have no real affection for women. Anonymous sources from within the palace security team claim there are regular visitors to the east wing of the Zarzuela Palace who the press never sees. Not women, but young men, very discreet, very private. However, no one has confirmed it publicly. And it seems that Letizia, a woman who used to be a smart and sharp journalist, knew it all from the beginning. A contracted marriage? Many European royal analysts believe that the marriage between Felipe and Letizia was not so much a love affair as a political, image and duty choice. A king who had never shown any signs of having a romantic life with a woman before the wedding, suddenly choosing a shrewd widow with a less than royal past. That was a big question mark since 2003. An anonymous source in the Spanish Foreign Ministry even revealed, Letizia was not a choice of the heart. She was a choice of reason, and of a long-term image strategy. She was intelligent, controlled the media, and did not question Felipe's personal freedom. So did they have a deal? No one knows for sure, but according to a former palace guard, Letizia always knew when to enter a room, and when to stay away from it. Felipe, the man who never rebel? In public images, Felipe always appears proper, gentle and does not reveal any private emotions. Some body language experts believe that his intimate gestures with Letizia seem forced, as if he is fulfilling image duty, rather than showing real affection. A controversial article in a French magazine once dared to ask, is Felipe happy in his own palace, or is he living a role written by tradition and honor? That question is now even more clear, as Princess Leonor gradually grows up, and Letizia increasingly asserts her strong role in Spanish politics. Why still Letizia? No matter how many rumors, how many theories about Felipe, Letizia is still there, still the queen, still the face of the royal family, still in control of the media, public opinion and any potential slip-ups. Perhaps because she is the only one strong and wise enough to maintain the image of the Spanish royal family, regardless of what is going on behind closed doors. Letizia may not be Felipe's true love, but she is the perfect strategic partner, the last defender of a fragile monarchy in the 21st century. The truth about Felipe's men, and Letizia's silent role. While the public portrait of King Felipe VI is that of a model husband, loving father and quiet monarch, in the hidden corners of the Zarzuela Palace, there is another world, one that only the truly chosen can see. Names redacted from the itinerary. A former member of the Royal Protocol Department, who worked there for nearly a decade, admitted to a German magazine, there are itineraries that are never recorded. There are trips that are never reported by the media, and there are guests whose names are never mentioned, but who stay for a long time. Among them, the most prominent name, whispered through the lips of the guards and servants, Diego. No one knows who Diego is, where he comes from, and what his relationship is to Felipe. But many people confirm that every time Letizia is absent for vacation, independent activities, or charity trips, Diego appears. And each time, the east gate of the palace, Felipe's private entrance, is guarded more carefully than usual. A photo believed to have been taken secretly from a distance, never officially released, once showed a tall, dark-haired man in a simple black suit, stepping out of a royal car and being taken straight into the inner palace area. The person who took the photo, an Italian photojournalist, said, "My passport was held for 2 hours and the entire memory card had to be erased. But I still remember that face." Letizia, the woman WHO knows how to stay. Unlike other queens who left empty-handed, when the royal family was shaken by scandal, Letizia always seemed to be in control of every situation. Whether it was her husband's homosexuality rumors, tensions with her mother-in-law or the silent opposition of the old nobility. A veteran Spanish journalist once wrote in her memoir, "She never took a step back." If Felipe needed a shield, Letizia was that shield. If the palace needed a figure to calm the media, Letizia was always ready. But remember, she was also the one who controlled the whole rhythm. There were even rumors that Letizia herself approved of Felipe's private relationships, as long as they did not affect the royal image and the safety of Princess Leonor. She doesn't need love, she needs power, and power comes from knowing everything and keeping it quiet, a former royal communications advisor asserted. Unsent letters. In 2022, a private investigation by a group of French journalists, focusing on the royal archives, found handwritten letters, unaddressed, with no clear recipient, but handwriting that was confirmed to be Philippe's. An excerpt from the letter reads, "I cannot be myself, but I accept it. I chose the crown over my heart, and she, Letizia, understands that better than anyone." If the letter is genuine, then Felipe is not a victim, but a consenting partner. And Letizia, maybe an accomplice, but also the real architect of everything that exists today. The role of a mother, and a guardian. The media often focuses on Letizia as queen, but to those inside, she is also the gatekeeper to the next generation. Princess Leonor, seen as the future of the Spanish monarchy, was raised in an environment completely controlled by Letizia. There was no gossip, no private life out of her control. Letizia knew, if anything were to go wrong, it would not be her daughter. Felipe may live his own private life, but Letizia, the woman with the cold smile and the observant eye, holds the key to the royal future. Conclusion: the crown is not for the lovers. Finally, we can ask a question: love, freedom, or honor? Which is more important in the Zarzuela palace? The coldness of Letizia, when a queen no longer believes in men. She did, at least in the early years, when she was Letizia Ortiz Rocasolano, the sharp-tongued journalist, the independent woman who dared to look straight into the camera and say what she thought. She believed in love, and then she entered the palace, where every sincere emotion was censored more strictly than the national news. The test of faith. Letizia was not a naive woman. She knew that Felipe was different from what the world imagined. But she believed that time changes a man, and that status, duty and family ties were enough to calm any desire that should not exist. But then Letizia realized, a man cannot love a woman, if he was never programmed to do so in the first place. Felipe could respect her, admire her intelligence and ability to control the public, even be grateful for her strong presence, but love, no. From the cold hugs, the lost glances and the chillingly silent evenings, Letizia gradually understood. She was the queen, but never her husband's woman. The cold classic named Letizia. A palace advisor once described, after 2016, she changed. She was no longer the radiant Letizia of the wedding photos, but a woman who had walked through fire, now turned to stone. She no longer trusted anyone, especially men. Whenever she interacts with male leaders, Letizia keeps a fixed distance, her eyes only polite enough. Those who have tried to get close to her, both in politics and the media, have been mercilessly eliminated. A longtime journalist said bluntly, "Letizia doesn't smile at men. She smiles at the camera." In closed meetings, she is a quick and cold decision-maker, without emotion. And strangely enough, Felipe relies on that coldness to stand firm. She does what Felipe cannot do, because she is no longer a dreamer. The woman WHO needs no one. Letizia is present in every royal communication strategy. She intervenes in the content of interviews, gives instructions on camera angles, dress colors, and the tilt of the light when Princess Leonor appears. Once, a young cameraman accidentally let Letizia look tired in the frame. He was moved on within 48 hours. No one complained. No one asked why. They knew it was Letizia. And she didn't need an explanation. She didn't need a best friend, just loyalty. She didn't need comfort, just control. And if anyone ever softened her heart, it was probably for a very short time, before Letizia reminded herself that all men leave, betray or disappoint.